getting this little one to chill. Aren't we?
Hi, I want your headphones.
You want my headphones?
Yeah.
There's nothing coming out of them right now.
Oh, yeah?
Nope. It's all quiet, huh?
I want the headphones.
Okay. There's nothing happening with them, though. See?
Hi, Sat. Hi, Sat. Hi, Sat. I think you're too busy.
So chat isn't just one person, huh? It's not like Dave or G-Mart or Keenan or anything. Chat is lots and lots of people. Huh? It's a word for a lot of people, like friends or family, huh? It doesn't just mean one person, it means lots of people. So chat is lots of people. Boop.
Do you like my hair?
I do. Your braids are very pretty.
I look like a princess.
You do look like a princess.
Like a princess, like, yes.
You always look like a princess, regardless. Uh-huh. Cookie, are you ready for your quiet time?
No.
I think that we need to have our quiet time because Mommy needs to
Hi,
work.
Stop.
You've already said hi, chat, many
I
times.
want to say hi to that one more time.
Okay, one more time. Go for it.
I want your headphones on.
Okay, but remember they can't respond, right? Because it's not just one person. It's lots of people, right? So you won't hear any response. They won't say hi back. Okay? Do you understand? Okay.
I want your headphones.
I understand. I'm just trying to explain to you.
Hi, Sat. Hi, Sat. Hi, Sat. Hi, Sat. Hi, Sat. Hi, Sat. Hi, Sat.
Okay.
Hi,
That's
Sat.
more than once.
Hi, Sat.
That's enough.
Hi, Sat.
That's enough.
Hi, Sat.
Yeah, I understand what
Hi,
you're doing.
Sat. Hi, Sat. Hi, Sat.
Cookie. All done, yeah?
Hi, Sat. Hi,
Put it back on.
Sat.
Do you remember how it came off? Can you put it back on? There we go. Yeah, just leave it quiet. Listen. Can you put it back on and leave it on, please?
Oh, wow.
Honey,
Wow,
honey.
wow, wow. Wow, 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 wow,
Thank you.
wow, 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 wow.
Okay.
Wow, 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 wow.
goodness. I was like, okay, I'm okay with her throwing a fit. I would rather she didn't throw a fit on stream. But I was like, the second that I make it really clear, like, you cannot be in here, I need to work, you have to go have your quiet time, she's going to be so mad. And she was. As Gary, thank you very much for all the gifted subs. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the Cat Gang, everybody who's gifted a sub today by As Gary or anybody else. Thank you for the resubs. If there were any new subs, thank you for that as well. I appreciate it. How are you guys doing? It was a bit cute. I feel bad as much as I know that you guys don't care if you see her throw a fit. I don't like to create situations where she throws a fit on camera because that exists forever, right? So
Mommy, I can't find my favorite.
you can't find your Bibbit, you just had it. Is it in our room? It's in your hand. It's literally in your hand.
My tail.
Your pillow, I believe you took into our room, huh?
I get it.
Okay, well, if you have questions, go ask Daddy, okay? Thank you. I love you.
Welcome, you fine, cat-loving, coffee-drinking burrito babe.
I can't find my Bibbit, she says as she's holding it. So funny. Regular Clover, welcome to the Cat Gang. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Me with the glasses that are already... Where are my glasses? I did ask where my glasses were once when they were on my head. My mother-in-law does that all the time.
Welcome,
All the time. This is a classic move from Sam's mom.
Burrito babe.
Backfish, thank you very much for subscribing. Welcome to the Cat Gang. Thank you. I hope you're having a lovely day. I don't know why autofocus is on currently, but how's the neck doing? It is more focused pain now, which is actually a lot easier to deal with. So yesterday it was like all of my lower neck and all of my upper back was so painful. I couldn't, if I was like laying down, I felt much better. But if I tried to get up, I like couldn't get up. It took like so much finagling to get out of bed. I literally had to slide myself off of bed in order to get out of bed. It was really bad yesterday. And I don't know, for better or for worse, when I tried to do callus row, the headset, the extra weight of the headset made the pain like way worse than it already was. So I was like, it would be really, I can't yell at Sam for like making bad choices when he hurts his neck and back and then do callus row when my neck feels like this, right? So I was like, fine, I give up. I'll go back to bed. And honestly, when I woke up, the pain is still really bad, but it's really bad in a specific spot now, which is a lot easier to deal with. It's easier for me to move around and get up and stuff. I'm still trying to take it super easy. Clark really wanted to do a pillow fight at some point this morning, and that was a disaster. Because every time she went to throw something at me, I was like, but yeah, so couldn't do callus row last night, but got a ton of sleep, laid flat on my back in bed, and now I can move around a bit better. So I think it's a pinched nerve. So, That's true. We had a great misdemeanor session. And I messaged Brett because at the end of the session, Brett like asked us a question and I was like, oh, I think I'm trying to keep it vague, but I was like, as Alis, I have something I would want to say, but I'll just do it in character next session. And everyone did like a ooh. So Brett was like, message me and tell me what it is that you want Alis to say. And I did, and he was like, ooh. So, yeah. Yeah. Misdemeanor was very good. Actually, I believe specifically he said in italics, rubs hands. So. Oh, Telly, yesterday was my 30th birthday. Stream was down, so I thought I would just use a chat Valentine to say I hope everyone has a happy day. If anyone out there is feeling like I'm not insert whatever enough to do this or that thing, you are enough and you're awesome and beautiful. Take this as permission to live as vivacious and bold as your heart desires. You've got this. Oh, Telly, happy late birthday. I'm sorry that the stream was all borky yesterday. What a sweet message, though. We did not finish It Takes Two. We're playing the rest of or more of it tonight. I would love for us to finish it tonight, but we'll see. We might have like 5 or 6 hours left of it. It is a long game, but very good. Very good. I'm not going to say what area we're in because I don't want to spoil things, but I'm trying to think of how to put it in a vague way. Oh, 2 pieces left. That's a good way to put it. Number of hours is a good way. I mean, people can take more or less numbers of hours to get a certain amount in, but we're 9 hours in. Yeah, well, it sounds like most people took between 13 and 15 hours to finish it. And we've done 9 hours. So I think we can finish it tonight, but we'll see. Oh, Helen, I feel that. I feel that so much. Every time somebody's like, how many hours do you have in X, Y, or Z game? I'm like, I have no idea. And if they say, oh, just check the number on Steam, I have to then explain, I tend to open games and then just leave them open. So there is no number for this game that will ever be accurate for any game that I've ever played. I never leave games open. I always do. Always, always. Yeah, whenever we play Final Fantasy 14 and, everybody's like stroking themselves over how many hours they have in the game. And they're like, Dodger, how many hours do you have? And I'm like, I don't know, probably a fucking million because I leave it on. With MMOs, people always wind up getting like, oh man, I've played this game so much. It is impressive. It is impressive when people have like maxed out tons of classes and stuff like that for sure. But like comparing amount of time that you've spent in game seems silly because some people use the game like for a lot of RP. Some people use the game just to like goof off. Like it doesn't. But my hours. Catbug, what's up? Yes, I am Mush Friend. Catbug, let me give you VIP. Pog. Catbug Cry in chat plays Wisp, who is one of the other mushrooms in Callus Row. What is that shirt? I want it. Just says "Be gay, do crime" with an angry skeleton. I know, I'm sorry. I have like a pinched nerve in my neck. I like really fucked myself up. So when I put the headset on, I tried for like a hot minute and then realized I'm going to make myself way worse if I try to do this. So can we be straight and do crime? Yeah, absolutely. Can I show you guys? Wait.
Cat-loving, coffee-drinking burrito babe.
Danny made a cozy emote. Hold up. Oops. I have my desktop icons off. There we go. Oh, look how cute. I don't have the file yet, but it's very cute. So we got a cozy emote on the way. And that's illegal. And this is his sketch for Dooger. At first it had no hands, and I was like, Danny, I gotta be honest with you. Half of what makes emotes funny is the hands. Oh my god. Huge. So we got both of those coming. Them some swollen eyes. Just that. Hell yeah, new emotes. We have so many openings, dude. And I don't know what to do with all of them. Somebody suggested that we should have a per-bucks thing that's like to suggest emotes. I was like, I don't know if anybody would use that, but it's not a bad idea. Yeah, we have fucking 12 slots open. Where'd you get your Ranger D&D shirt from? Game Tea. It's a UK-based company, but their shirts are awesome, and they ship everywhere, I'm pretty sure. Gametea.co.uk. They make all kinds of shit, and have really veered into mostly TTRPG stuff over the last, like, I don't know, year or so. 2 years? 3 years? I don't know. I thought about that. I thought about doing some like TTRPG flavored emotes, but I don't know what I would do. Well, yeah, we want to do gender guns. Is she asleep? I think that's my husband. Which says to me she might be asleep. Is she asleep? Yeah. Well done. No.
About the mess in the kitchen.
Why did you slam the door open?
It's nice. I'm clumsy.
I thought that maybe it was to imply that your message was very aggressive.
Maybe you didn't, but you fell asleep and then I played it up.
FYI, we had a bunch of ants in there this morning, so I like vacuumed and mopped the floor. I didn't get an opportunity to like do the dishes or anything. So if you see some, just squash them. Ant problems. Ants. Boo. I put a little bit of, we have cats, so we can't just willy-nilly put ant powder in places. But ant powder has done wonders for us in the past. So I put it in a couple of like strategic locations that I know my kid and the cats can't get to. But yeah. Can we get a headless Sam? Get rid of them before Clarky starts to feed them. Clark literally has started, like, anytime she sees any bug in the house, she goes, I love them. Can we keep them? I love them. Just like, oh, honey. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, it's the thing is like what I've learned from MangaPod is making an emote that is specific to a show and not specific to a use in chat, like something that you would use almost as like a placeholder for a word or as like a punctuation. Those are the ones that get used a lot. But ones that are just like having ones that are specifically about manga to use during MangaPod do not get used, which is why I think like having one that's like craft or like art, I don't know how much that would get used. I'm willing to try it, but I don't know how much it would get used. Zacky Wacky sees a decent amount of use. Yeah, Zacky Wacky shows up occasionally. If I started streaming Callus Row, I would definitely make a moral one. A progress emote isn't a bad idea. I do love my little grubby. Moral doing gender guns. Basmandius, that's what I meant, is like I'm hesitant to make a craft emote or an art emote because I don't know how often they would really get used. So. Oh my god, we have leet viewers. Holy shit. We used to I keep forgetting to get rid of the winter emotes, but the current snowman head emote is typically Doog Rip, which is a skeleton head. And that's normally our like F's in chat emote. I haven't tuned in for years. Good to see you're still going strong. What's up? Thanks for swinging by to say hey. I miss Doog Rip. Okay, one sec. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. bum 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 bum. Let's see. Where is Dooger? Where is he? Oh my gosh. Show me the real ones. There we go. Okay. We can replace a couple of them. Sorry, that was like such a long period of time for me to be singing a Shantae song and like not talking to you. But okay, some of these we can get rid of and replace. Okay. Bit from this. Oops. This. Okay, coffee is back. Normal coffee instead of cocoa. And what else did we get rid of? We got rid of the sparkle. Where's sparkle at? There it is. But I don't see. Oh no. I don't see the skeleton, guys. I don't see the skeleton. Okay. They'll take a little bit to show up again, but yeah. Coffee's so good. I haven't had some in almost a week. I made a little bit this morning. It's pretty all right. It's pretty good. I keep trying to make it as unappealing as possible to my kid because Clarky has decided that she adores coffee and just wants to drink it all the time. So I don't put any sugar in it anymore. So I'm like, I need to make it as bitter as possible so that when she goes to take a drink, she's like, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. She just really likes it. Why? But to be fair, this is also the kid that just takes gigantic bites out of lemons. So whatever. I have to just keep it away from her, I guess. Gotta switch to decaf. Clark inheriting all the chaos energy. Man. Kids, dude. Is there a smell that she doesn't like you could add to the coffee that wouldn't affect the flavor? A smell she doesn't like? I actually have no idea if there's a smell she doesn't like. My mom, I mean, I've said this before, but my mom straight up, like, if I have coffee with any sugar in it, if she accidentally, this has happened a couple of times, but if she accidentally drinks my coffee, she'll be like, ugh, 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 ugh. Like, it's the most disgusting thing she's ever tasted in her life. And if you ask her why she's making that face, she'll be like, it's so sweet. Even if there's only a little bit of sugar in there, she's like, ugh. Mom's hardcore. She, like, again, she's in her 70s and was a court reporter for years and years and years. So she's told me before that, like, a lot of her coffee drinking experience was in this really stupid sort of ecosystem of, like, everyone at the table had to be drinking, you know, like, black coffee in order to, you know, really look like they were important business people. So she was like, it's just how I drink coffee now, because I spent so long being at these fucking meetings with all of these people who were trying to, like, seem really, you know, tough and hardcore, and everybody drank black coffee. I mean, I would assume if they're going to a diner, if you're going to, like, an Americana diner, right, you're getting that burnt, that coffee that's been sitting in the same pot since, like, 6 a.m. Hell yeah. What does my hand smell like? Oh. Zoloft. Zoloft? No, not Zoloft. I was like, wait, isn't that a depression medication? Not Zoloft. Zoloft is not what my fingers taste like. Shit, I can't talk. Zoflora. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's like a really concentrated disinfectant that you can mix with water to mop your floors with. And since I mopped the floors this morning to discourage ants, that's what my fingers smell like. But I said Zoloft first, and then immediately my brain was like, no, that's wrong. That's not correct. No, that's not it. That's not the one. You are not a mushroom person. It's true. Only in one type of life. The VR life. What was I even gonna do? I don't remember anymore. It's fine. Only in an AU. In much the same way that Kraken is a rat in many alternate universes. Where'd you get that shirt? I need it. Etsy. Is Streamer a Bulma collector? My Bulmas. Not as many as I had at the height of my life, but the height of my Bulma collecting life, I should say. I left lots of them behind in America, but these are my faves. No, the Briefs family is all based on types of underwear. So Bulma is Bloomer's Briefs. The Saiyans are all based on vegetables, though. But Bloomer's Briefs, Trunks Briefs. So there you go. The naming conventions of Dragon Ball are really top tier. Yeah. This is why it always makes me laugh when people are like, I really need to, come up with like really good epic names for my characters in my comic. And I'm like, I mean, if Dragon Ball could be like, what if a bunch of people were named after types of underwear and be as successful as they are, then like. I am the mug girl. I assume. I am a mug girl. So mug children, rise up. What do you have to do to be the mug girl? I don't know. There's a video that went around for a while that someone made of their mom. Their mom, like, is, like, engaged to some dude. And he made their mom, like, basically a show cabinet that went all along the wall for displaying mugs. So many people sent that shit to me. I don't even know where I would put them, dude. I have a solid mug collection, but I always use the same one because it's the biggest one I have. This one's pretty small, but I love this one, like, aesthetically, and I love the feel of holding it. So there are a lot of them that I really adore for completely different reasons, but I understand being like, I really like this one because it's chunky. A question for all the mug girls. We'll say mug kids. A question for all the mug kids. Do you use all the mugs? We use all of our mugs. Yeah. Even the ones that came with our plates that are just teal. We use all of them. The mug thugs. A question to all mug thugs. Do you use all of your mugs? I have a few I don't use because they have sentimental value. That's actually fair. I would say we do use all of them, but there are a couple that I kind of leave and don't use super often. And they're the ones like the one that I got from Ukraine. I don't use super often. The one I got from Poland, I don't use super often. Yeah, so I vibe with that. I brought 12 of my mugs with me. The rest of them I gave to friends. So Jesse, when we were going to be moving, put together a huge going away party by the beach for us, which was so sweet, and invited all of our friends. And since we were going to be moving and I didn't want to bring all of my mugs with me. All of the ones that I didn't bring, I brought to the party, and everybody was encouraged to choose a mug and use it throughout the night to drink whatever drinks they wanted to out of it and then take it home. So I have friends who will occasionally send me pictures of their mug that they took that night and be like, "It's your mug." And it's very cute. Is Joe here? What's up, dude? How are you? Everybody was really gassing Joe up yesterday. It's deserved, but it was very funny. During Misdemeanor, talking about how great Joe is and what a good player and DM he is. Oh my gosh, you guys should totally follow Joe. What a talent. I'm here to listen to mug stories. Okay, I'm sorry. I missed Misdemeanor last night. Did it go well? It was a very good episode. Yeah, you should definitely go watch it. I have a Moomin Troll mug. I keep wanting to get more Moomin stuff for Clark because she actually loves them. We haven't ever watched any of the like Moomin shows or anything. But she loves her books that are like, there are lots of Moomin themed like word teaching books and stuff like that. Yeah. I keep thinking that I should get more like little mugs because the number of times, Clark's getting bigger. So the number of times that we have situations where Sam and I are drinking something and Clark's like, I want to try some. We need to have more like little mugs around that aren't very heavy, that are easy for her to hold. In my efforts to not buy a bunch of plastic, it's either like go to a charity shop and see if I can find plastic mugs to give them new life, or get just normal mugs like ours but way smaller, which is what we have currently, and she does fine with them, but it always makes me a little nervous, like, oh my god, if she drops that. Have you let Clark try coffee? So Joe, I actually was just telling everybody that Clark really likes coffee, and in an effort to discourage her from drinking it, because we let her pretty much just do her thing, and so she just happened to like drink some of my coffee one day and was like, so I don't put any sugar in my coffee anymore to discourage her from drinking it, but she still loves it without the sugar. So I don't know what the fuck to do anymore. You could make a mug in study hall. That's true. I could try to carve a little wood mug for her. I had a superstition back in the day that drinking coffee stops you from getting taller. It is a still circulated superstition, that one. The entire time I did coffee time, people would be like, that's why she's short. Is this no longer coffee time? I mean, in the time that I've been streaming, we've never called it coffee time. I've thought to myself that was probably a mistake. I probably could have very easily like called the chitty chatty sections coffee time and just continued that. But I didn't. I guess I still could. It's just weird now after so long of not using coffee time, the like the like branding of coffee time, you know? Well, because like pretty much every stream I spend at least a half an hour, sometimes 2 hours. Like this, I just do this like every single stream. So people have said before, like, why don't you just like make it so every stream is called coffee time at the start, which I totally could. I just haven't ever done that. But then what is Saturday morning? I mean, I wonder what Saturday morning Dooger even is anyway. What's Saturday morning Dooger? What is it? It was all coffee time? Always was. Oh, claptrap. That's very sweet. It's not even in the morning. Oh my god. We've lost all through lines. They're all gone. It's afternoon now. Joe, don't. I sent my mother-in-law a picture of the cover of Gideon the Ninth. Because I'm still reading it. I don't read super fast. And I was like, Mom, I know that you like sci-fi fantasy stuff like I do. I'm just going to send you the cover of this book. I need you to read the quote at the bottom. And I'm just going to tell you it's very good. And if you would like to read it when I'm done, let me know. For anybody who doesn't know, the quote hold on. The quote on the cover of Gideon the Ninth is this. Lesbian necromancers explore a haunted Gothic palace in space. So I was like, just read that little blurb. See how you feel. And she was like, honestly, I'll read anything. I was like, great. I'll toss that book your way when I'm done. It's great. Gideon the Ninth. It's such a good book so far. I love it. The second book in the series had me raging. Harrow the Ninth. I'm only halfway through Gideon the Ninth, but it's great. People have said the audiobook's very good as well, yeah. What counts as haunted when you're a necromancer? Aren't those just potential new friends? Maybe you should read the book. Having a muscular redhead wielding a sword is always best in my books. Yeah. I was talking with a couple of friends that read Gideon the Ninth forever ago and were like, oh my God, you're reading it. And yeah, I think we're all on the same page, right? Like the main character is a ripped redhead who loves fighting with a big sword. Like, I'm in. It's great. Honestly, it's just nice to be like sitting down and reading something. I'm hoping that my copy of Guardian will be here around the time that I finish Gideon the Ninth, and then right when I'm done with Gideon, I can just start reading The Guardian, which I've already read it, but I read like a previous edit of it, so it'll be my first time reading the final edit. The Guardian is my best friend Erin's book that she self-published, so waiting for that to come in the mail. I haven't thought about doing a book club stream, but I've attempted book clubs with other streamers, number one, with 2 different groups of friends. I've attempted this a few times. I'm not a very consistent reader. I will say in one situation I did fine. I did all the reading. But in most situations, I struggle to like keep up with the pace of other people, because typically the book club is comprised of, maybe some of you guys have the same issue. Typically the book club is comprised of a couple of people who read really well and consistently, and then a bunch of other people who are like, I don't read often enough, but I really want to, right? And then trying to have everybody of those 2 worlds be at the same pace in order to discuss a book is hard. So it's frustrating to the people who read quickly or consistently, because from their perspective, they're like, I could have read way more, or, sure, we'll push it another week, but like, I could have finished this book in a week, right? And some people are mentioning MangaPod. We do MangaPod. I've read tons and tons of manga, right? I generally like graphic novels, comics, manga, all of that sort of stuff. I read really fast. I can read that stuff really, really quickly. Books, it's not that I struggle as a reader, but I'm not a fast reader. So yeah. I'm too inconsistent. I read every day for 3 months and then off for 3 months, and a book club sounds stressful. Yeah. I understand, like, and I would love to make it work with this concept of, me and a couple of other friends, we read a thing and then we talk about it and we motivate each other to read the book, right? But my biggest hurdle with reading is whether or not something, it doesn't have to do with the time that I'm reading, it has to do with the in-between time. Does this book make me want to sit down and read it again? Or once I close it, after reading it for a while, will I not think of it for a while? That tends to be the issue for me. Oh my God, speaking of books though, wait a second. Can I show you like the prettiest book that I own now? I want to get this person's other book, but this book is so sick. It's so cool. It's lots of like, there's another one, they made another one that's like more folklore based. But morals. Oh my gosh. The false moral, as its name implies, looks remarkably like an edible moral. Despite the specific epithet esculenta, which means delicious, it should not be considered edible. It's like legitimately a book about like plants. It's very cool. It's like beautifully illustrated. The cover is gorgeous. But yeah, there's another one that's like plant folklore, which is very cool. Honestly, I just bought it off of Amazon. But I follow Fez Inkwright, the author. I follow them on Twitter, and so I started looking at their books. I was just saying, I've read Aaron's book. I haven't read the final edit of Aaron's book. So when it shows up, I'm very excited to read it. Oh my God, I haven't looked at my Dooger in a long time. Clark really likes to ask me to read books out loud, and it's been very funny having her ask me to read Gideon the Ninth out loud. Because most of the time when she asks me to read, it's like, I don't even know how to put it without it being spoilery, but it's usually like visceral shit. And I wind up like backing up a little bit and being like, let's find a boring paragraph to read. Bought it just now. My wife loves this sort of thing. Yeah, that book looks so good. This one is great. The folklore one, I'm trying to remember. Hold on. Folk Magic and Healing is the other one, which looks beautiful. But Botanical Curses and Poisons spoke to me as a person that at one point in my life really wanted to study poisons. It doesn't go very far is the problem. Like saying to yourself like, man, I want my job in the world to be that I just know a lot about poison. Really, like, the dead end there is, do you want to work on crime scenes? Then you need to study forensics and shit, not just poison, right? And also poisons developed where? For me, it was, I want to know, like, what plants can be turned into poisons. Okay, cool. So you want to be hyper specific to one area to have the knowledge to understand, like, what plants can be turned into what, etc. If you ever move, then you need to like restudy all over again. I have not, but that sounds great. Dilettante said The Royal Art of Poison is another book I could look at. I've made it from bed to couch. Productive Saturday. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Like I said, I literally like a piece of paper that got hit by a little bit of wind. I slipped my body off of bed in order to get up today, so. Yeah, I believe a lot of times, if there's scientific interest in studying a thing, then they'll like seek out people who are down to just give them money to study that thing and pay for the people to help and et cetera, et cetera. Oh my God, same. But isn't that kind of a blessing? Megaboy said, I want to read more, but every time I try to read, I fall asleep instantly. I've found that, yeah, if I want to read to like consume, I have to read during the day. But if I'm trying to get my brain to turn off, reading is the best way to do it. Literally, I can climb into bed, my brain will be fully wired, and I can open up a book and pass out. I can only do that with books I don't actually like. Yeah, that's fair. ADHD says no passing out without at least 2 hours of hard concentration. Yeah, Sam is the sort of person that needs at least an hour, maybe more, to like fully turn his brain off after streaming, which is why it's really difficult. If you ever watch Sam, and you're like, wow, he's streaming like it's like pretty late in the morning now. Be aware that once he turns off the stream, it's another couple of hours before he can even fall asleep, which is why he and I have so many conversations where I'm like, you need your like hard cutoff time for streams to be like 3 or 4 a.m. because otherwise you're not falling asleep until like 8 or 9 in the morning. Like it's dumb. Sam needs a sleep alarm clock. I've thought about being like that really obnoxious person that sets up like 18 alarms in different places and just like hides shit in his office. Just like, hey, go to bed. Hey. How come he streams so late? So one of the reasons is because we're like we both do the baby thing, right? So I'm with Clark in the mornings, I stream in the afternoons, which means Sam then is available to her for the entire afternoon, and then evening we spend together, and we like once I'm done with my stream, we try to have dinner together and stuff, and if he hasn't started streaming yet, we'll do bedtime together. But then he streams at night. The reason that he prefers to stream at night is because he does lots of co-op stuff, and most of the people that he plays with are in America. So unfortunately, like pretty much all of the boys that are from the UK have had their schedules sort of pushed forward. If they want to play with their friends in America, they have to be streaming late. And as much as like, they can all say like, well, fuck them, like I need to get my sleep or I need to be on a better schedule. Especially now when everybody's been like really lonely and has no opportunities to really see each other. It's easier said than done to just be like, well, I'm just going to give up all of these opportunities to hang out with friends, So yeah, so he chose he works nights, basically. He chose that for himself. He sleeps until around the time that Clark goes down for her nap. And then Sam spends a little time to himself and has lunch. And then when she's done with her nap, they hang out until evening when I finish my stuff. So. It would be nice if the US people could start earlier so it's not terrible for the UK people. I agree. I agree. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah, so for reference, yeah, that's a good point. For reference, all of our friends that are in Los Angeles are 8 hours behind us. So if they say, we're going to start at 7 p.m., then you have to count 8 hours from 7 o'clock to figure out what time it'll be for us when they start streaming. So. Yeah, I mean, I never really thought about that until I started dating Sam, like long distance, because I would have to constantly remind myself, like, I can't, like, I can't wait until it's super late to hang out with Sam because he's having to stay up so late just to spend time with me. Like, that's not fair. So there's a lot of, like, everybody has to figure out what's going to be best for each other. And I think sometimes when you're in a group of friends where a majority of them are US, they don't want to budge really with like what a comfortable schedule is for them. They would much rather have everybody who's in different time zones from them adjust to suit the group, So it's just unfortunate. Sam typically gets around 6 hours of sleep, maybe a little more, which is enough, but I mean, 6 hours is like enough-ish for an adult. Of course, most people are going to say, I would much rather have 8 or I would much rather have 12, Sam, I'm sure, would much rather have 8 or 12 hours of sleep, but he can typically get around 6, I think. Yeah, before I had Clark, I could have a full night's sleep, like go to bed around, midnight, wake up around 8, and then also take a nap in the middle of the day, which is why Sam's whole family calls me a dormouse. I can literally just pass out anywhere and nap. So Sam's always like, it's because you're small. You got those little batteries. The dormouse in Alice in Wonderland sleeps all the time. Aren't we playing It Takes Two later? We are. Yep. With who? With my husband. Sam and I have been playing it together. So we'll probably start around 8:30, 9 o'clock. I think 9 o'clock is a safer bet. Clark has been either very easy to settle for bedtime or really difficult. So 9 o'clock I think is safest. Yeah, with my dear old pal, Sam. What's Clark's favorite film or TV show at the moment? I don't know. We've been mostly watching, like, she's mostly wanting music stuff. She's really into dancing right now. So she mostly wants stuff on that she can dance to. So the TV show of life, Bugs. No, for real. Bugs all day. I did make this beanie. Yep.
So every single this is one of the like really lovely things about going to the BSL website and trying to just look up a sign is that everyone seems to do it totally differently. So like one person did this, one person did this, one person did this. Oh, like that? Telly? What's the translation? I was just saying, lots of random stuff. Like, my name is Brooke, and I have a daughter, and her name is Clark, and I also have a spouse, and his name is Sam, and I have 2 cats, and that's where I got stalled because I know black, but I don't know white. So we're trying to figure out what white should be. Okay, Telly, I'm sorry. I'll watch your color video, I swear. I keep forgetting. But yeah, the other thing that I was talking about was that bug, like if you want to say spider, it's this. If you want to say ant, it's this, apparently. So I'm assuming it's like some other signs where you have to like at some point establish like what it is you're talking about, and then you can just use this sign to like reference back. So which is why I was like, we have ants, right? Like a bunch of ants. But B is this, which is very cute. B. I love that one. It's adorable. Your mouth. You lip speak the word as you sign it. Oh, ant. I don't know why that never occurred to me. B. I know. Yeah, we have a little, you can do exclamation point BSL, but basically I'm learning sign language because I really wanted to learn sign language for a long time when I was in America. I live in England now. And I figured, hey, I'm in England. I could learn British Sign Language now, which is completely different from American Sign Language. And I also have a toddler, so I can practice it with her. And then if she picks up some of it, awesome. The fart tattoo lasted 2 weeks. Beetlejuice, if you've gotten a creepy link from somebody, do not click it. Report the account. Or block, sure. Or both. What was the name of the book you're reading? Gideon the Ninth is the book I'm reading currently. The sci-fi fantasy necromancer book, Gideon the Ninth. And then this was the other one that I showed everybody, if this is the one you meant. Botanical Curses and Poisons. A beautiful book. And we just happened to open it up to morals, which is, you know, lovely. To be fair, it was false morals that we opened up to. Store that with cookbooks in the kitchen. That would actually be tight. Yeah, we live in England. We live outside of London. We're in a very rural area. I took a picture outside of the window for my mom, and my mom was like, "Oh, you were not kidding." She's like, "Is that a farm?" Yes. Yes, it is. False moral. It sounds sus. It's literally like a mushroom that makes itself look like a moral but is not edible. I couldn't do callus row. I pinched a nerve in my upper back neck area. It made it like impossible for me to move around very well. A mimic moral, exactly. Made it like impossible for me to move around very well. But I was determined to try and do callus row, and I put the headset on, and it was agony. So I skipped. I know. It's better today for sure. It was good for me to just like stay in bed, but yeah, it's more what I was saying before is it's more like centralized now. So it's like a lot of pain in one spot instead of a ton of pain in like an area. So it makes it a lot easier to move around even though it's still kind of painful. Painkillers do not help. Sam also put a bunch of deep heat, which is basically icy hot. Put a bunch of deep heat on me and I couldn't even feel it. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna leave it alone. I don't think it's the chair because I just sit up straight in my chair. I don't lean up against the back at all. I had to when I got my, it's not citizenship, but like basically leave of residence. I had to pay a certain amount to say like, to basically say like I would like to be part of the NHS. So yeah, I am covered by the NHS. I can get all of the exact same things that Sam can. And don't have to pay anything more. It's just a fee to basically be like, hey, I know I haven't been in this country or, you know, paying taxes here ever. So here's a little chunk of money to say, yes, please. I would love for the NHS to treat me in the future. I didn't need a spousal visa. No, we applied for me to live here as Sam's spouse, and that's it. It's a one-time payment because as I live here, I pay taxes here. But yeah. So. I mean, it's just like America. Yeah. Sam technically could have applied for citizenship in America. But I have spousal residence for a certain amount of time, and then we can reapply, and it's like not a big deal. And then at a certain point, if I wanted to, yes, I could apply for citizenship. Hairdressers are open, but I cannot get my hair done until June because everybody is getting their hair done currently. I mean, however many hundreds and hundreds of people who haven't gotten their hair done in over a year. You're a mom, you're supposed to have messy hair. People paid a lot of money for me to have my hair a specific way, so I will be getting my hair done, yes. No, it was our subathon, our 10-year celebration stream. I said that if we hit a certain sub number, I would do my hair the way that it was when I first started YouTube forever ago. So. Little did she know we were determined to hit the number. We hit it. We hit it. I've made Dalgona coffee so much this last year. I still have not attempted that. We almost always have at least a little bit of instant coffee in the house. I should try it. Yeah, I had a consultation with the salon that I want to go to. And the person that the consultation was with, I was explaining the hair to her. And she was like, this is very anime. And I was like, yeah. It was hard to maintain it. I said that because it was 10,000 subs, which is wild. So I said, if we hit 10,000 subs, I would do that hair, even though it was a pain in the ass. What are you doing? Even though it was a pain in the ass, I would do that hair again, and I would keep it for 10 weeks. Oh. What is going on here? There we go. I heard that shock. Yeah, I get shocked most of the time when I touch specific things in this room. Would you ever get an anime tattoo? I've said before that there are a lot of tattoos I would love to get. I wouldn't ever want to get, not that I don't love these tattoos on other people, I just wouldn't want one. I would never want to get like Hiei from Yu Yu Hakusho on my arm, you know, that kind of thing. I would love to have some tattoos that are like either homages to things or kind of understated. Here for the good vibes. How are you? I'm good. How are you? Welcome. Hope you're having a good day. How about one that says soup? Sure. I will never forget walking through the mall with my mom when I was in middle school. And there was a dude who was covered in Dragon Ball Z tattoos. Like, covered in them. And I was like, oh. I was like, holy shit. I pointed it out to my mom. And my mom was like, mm-hmm. It was dope. That's commitment, I guess. They were very good tattoos. I've been trying to make plans to live in the UK. The process seems super overwhelming. How was it? I mean, it entirely depends on how you're trying to come over. It's a little bit straightforward if you're a partner of someone else. So like I was able to come here because Sam and I are married and we have a kid. But even then we applied once and it was rejected because we didn't outline our finances well enough because we're self-employed. They will definitely take opportunities to be like, you didn't do this perfectly, so I'm going to need you to pay all of that money again to reapply, which is stupid. So I would just say be very careful about all of the stuff that you're putting together and how you're applying. If you are able to afford help, see if you can find a lawyer, like a UK lawyer that can help like double check and make sure that you've got everything that you need, etc., etc. But yeah, obviously it's totally different if you're trying to come over here as like a worker or whatever else. But when you're a partner, spouse, or whatever, it's a lot of just like, prove to us that you're actually together, which we did flawlessly, but then they found issue with our finances. So it's very frustrating. Just give them lots of shit. How do you prove that you're together? Oh, so you include any legal documents, things that are like, yes, we're married. Here's the document for that. Here's the birth certificate of our kid. Here's XYZ. Pictures of you together, not just from one period of time, but from the entire relationship. So I made a Google Doc that literally started with like our first pictures together and then went through like a timeline of like, this is when we first started dating and this is all the midpoints of dating and this is now. Because we're online, I included videos that we were in together, as well as like text conversations with other friends. I double checked with our friends that they were fine with it, but like text conversations with friends about one another from our phones, as well as conversations between the two of us about like doing things together. You just like literally just overwhelm them with so much shit that they're like, this would have been a lot of effort to fake. I had to do that for my partner to come to Ireland also. Yeah, I think that's kind of just the way. Fortunately, when Sam was coming to America, we had to go in and basically get interviewed by somebody. And we were warned ahead of time, like if they think that you're sketchy, they might split you up and try asking you both the same questions and see if you answer the same way and stuff like that. And I was like, what the fuck? This is so stressful. But it was fine. Pretty much everybody that worked there had previously been through it. So, you know, but we were just warned because sometimes you wind up with somebody who's just like really going to be a dick about it. But we were fine. They did not make us do that coming to England, fortunately. We moved here 2 Decembers ago, so we've been here like a little over a year. But most of it has been in lockdown. So people always come into my stream and are like, how's life in England? What's that shit like? If you could compare America and England, how would you compare the two? What's like the craziest thing about England versus America? I can't answer any of those questions. I can't answer any of those questions because I've mostly existed in my own home. Yeah, my house is pretty all right, I guess. I really like this house. Can't complain. Something that I have noticed since spring is coming back around, we've had a few sunny days here, is I think for both Sam and I living in Los Angeles as long as we did, there's definitely been like a mood shift with the sun. As much as I adore living somewhere where it rains and we get like these nice gloomy days and stuff, I really missed that. But having the sun around has been like both Sam and I have had so much more energy and stuff, which has been really nice. Yeah, you adapt, don't you? I grew up in America. I grew up in Oregon. It rains all the time there. It's basically the same weather as England. It rains, and then for a couple of months it's fucking hot, and then it rains, right? That's almost identical to how it is here. They just have a heat wave in summer, and then the rest of the time it's probably gonna rain. But I lived in Los Angeles for like 9 or 10 years, and you adapt. Your body just gets like Clark has started making fun of me because some days I wake up and I'm like, ooh, I need a sweater, and I'll put on a sweater and I'll put on socks. I hate wearing socks. I'll put on socks. I'll like put a blankie on me on the couch, and Clark is running around, has like taken all of her clothes off and is running around and sitting on the bare tile, and I'm like, honey, aren't you cold? And she's like, no. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. You're a little heater, just like your dad. That's fine. Clark is too powerful. I mean, she's going to be like I was, right? She's going to have grown up in this weather with like these sorts of temperatures, and she's just going to be so used to it. And I'm having to readapt, you know? Yeah. It's 2 degrees outside. My boy is on the trampoline with no shirt. Yo, you get sweaty on the trampoline, though. If ever there was a way to, like, rev up the old engine. I do not have a teaching background, no. No, I've never tried to teach anything. How did you feel about having a daughter versus a son? Did you have a preference? It sounds silly given who I am and my feelings on this stuff, but like I was very nervous to have a daughter. Even though logically I was going, it doesn't matter, I would raise them the same regardless, right? I was really nervous to have a daughter. I think because I spent so many years as a kid feeling like I wasn't feminine enough, et cetera, right? And I was like, I wanted, I want to do right by any kid that I have and let them express themselves and, be who they want to be wear whatever they want to wear, etc., etc. And I think I might have more like weird accidental mental hang-ups with a girl than with a boy. Just if I'm being honest with myself, right? And it's happened a little bit, but overall, like, Clark just wants to be a frickin' tutu princess, and I love that for her. And like, she had braids in her hair for the first time today, and all morning was on cloud nine. I love it. So, you know, in the end, it's what the more logical part of my brain kept telling me, which is, you know, offer them all kinds of different things. They'll gravitate toward what they want, and, you know, be observant about what makes them happy and try not to let your own personal, like, tastes affect that. And I've made a real effort with that with Clark. Yeah. Yeah. Alti said my sister-in-law is the same-ish, I think, even though she's always been more feminine. She tries a lot of things to keep it open for her daughters, but gets sort of upset if they want to do girly things. I have noticed that happen in myself before. And I do not like that reaction from myself. I think it's in the same line as, like, when people get upset that, like, you know, a little girl wants to wear lots of pink, and they assume that it's, like, forced on them. Some kids are gonna really love the color pink. Some kids are gonna want to, you know, be in pretty dresses and dance, and some kids are gonna want to, you know, be in the same overalls every single day, and that could be the same kid. That could be the same kid, right? So yeah, I just want Clark to look back on growing up and feel like we offered her as many options as possible and we didn't stand in the way. You know? That whatever it was that she was gravitated toward, whatever it is she wanted to explore and try, like when it comes to clothing and all sorts of things, that it was available and that we were like, go for it, kid. So yeah, I do notice when I have a weird reaction to that. And I always take a minute to, like, basically talk to myself and be like, don't go putting weird shit on your kid. Clark is a different person from me. Clark goes to preschool. Yep.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
I don't know if I could raise a kid. It seems rough. It is really, really fun. Something that I say all the time is it's something that's really helpful is to remind yourself that it's not just your kid that's learning to be a person. You're also learning to be a parent. And you're going to have moments where you're like, well, that certainly wasn't the right thing to do. Right? but you're learning. You're also in the process of trying to become the best parent you can be, while they're in the process of trying to become the best human they can be, you know? And the hope is that you're helping one another along the way. And the best thing that you can do is be honest with yourself when something isn't working, or when you're letting your own personal shit get in the way of your kid being happy. Not that I think that, like, I don't think that it's our job to make our kids happy necessarily. Obviously, that's like a big goal, is like, I would love for Clark to be primarily happy in her life. But like, in terms of our job, I think it's a lot of just like teaching them about the world and about what their feelings are, and you know, how to identify those for themselves and have empathy, and, you know, all the important things that can lead to them being able to chase what makes them happy on their own. But yeah, to answer what you were saying, yes, kids are a lot. It's a lot, but I like to think that I'm getting better as I go along. Clark is a powerhouse. She can't be contained. It's true, dude. It's true, dude. "35 years later, I'm still a handful for my mother." Yeah, kids are fun. What time is it? It's a little past 3. And she hasn't woken up. I keep thinking that while we're talking about her, she's gonna just like fucking appear, and it hasn't happened. Every parent fucks up something, but gets something right too. Yeah, that's the other thing I've said a few times before, is like, I've accepted that at some point Clark is gonna be sitting in a cafe with a couple of her friends and be like, fuck, when my mom does this, it drives me up the goddamn wall. Like, I hate when she does this thing. I hate when my dad does this thing. It drives me crazy, right? There's going to be something like that. It's just inevitable. It's inevitable. But as long as I'm trying to ensure that that's like a small thing and not like a traumatic thing. They just play video games all the time. I swear at some point, Clark's gonna be like, guys, my real passion is hiking and rock climbing. So every weekend I'm gonna need you to take me to a different place to go hiking. I'm not wearing anything. No makeup today. Just me. Ow, fuck. Mom, Dad, I hate video games. That's fine. That's fine. As a rock climber and a gamer, I approve. Sam's the guy that was Sam's best man at our wedding, he has a daughter that's like a little bit younger than Clark, and is super into rock climbing, and was like, I went rock climbing and I saw like a 5-year-old kid doing the rock climbing. I want my kid to do rock climbing. And we were like, we should get our kids to do rock climbing. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's definitely something I can say for my parents. There are lots of wonderful things about my parents, but one of the things that comes up a lot, because people always ask, like, how did your parents feel when you said that you were gonna like do YouTube and move to Los Angeles and blah 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 blah. Honestly, they were like, wow, I didn't even realize that was a job. That's amazing. Right? They were like, that's so fun. Do you feel like you're being creative? Like, do you feel like you're getting to, like, you know, have a creative outlet with this? Like, is it fulfilling for you? That's awesome. You should pursue it. That's amazing. And to this day, they'll both be like, you know, you started doing a thing that not a lot of people were doing at the time. That's amazing. That's so cool. And look where it's gotten you, you know? They've always been very, very supportive, with all of us, all of their kids. They've always been very like, chase your bliss, you know? They're not in Oregon right now. They're in their desert house currently. My parents, for anybody who doesn't know, my parents are in their 70s. They spend like half the year in the desert, because they have like arthritis and things. It's really, really helpful body wise for them to sort of like get out during the colder months in Oregon. So they go to the desert where it's like a wonderful balmy temperature during the winter and way too hot during the summer. So yeah, my mom also has really bad allergies, so really has no allergies in the desert. They feel a lot better in the desert. And also my mom's twin sister lives out there as well, so they get to spend a lot of time together and stuff, which is nice. Hi, John. How are you? They are sweeties. I agree. My mom's adorable. It's just very dry. So it's in the like Palm Springs area, if you know where that is in California. That whole area, like Palm Springs, Indio, like all of that stuff. It's just like, it's fairly developed. So all of you who are like, but the sand, you know, there isn't really like, sometimes there are sandstorms, but like it's not super often. Generally, it's just a really dry, warm town. And that's it. So it's just much more comfortable for them to live there. Yeah, it's not humid at all, which is so nice. Not humid. I'm packing up and moving there. It's, well, not the cheapest place to live, but after living in Los Angeles for a while, we were looking at houses in the desert area, actually, and we were like, holy shit, the houses here are so affordable. Who takes care of the farm when they're gone? We have lots of family in Oregon. Some of them actually related to Thierry, because Thierry's my cousin, right? They are like super agriculture people, and they come out and help with the farm and live there sometimes to make sure that, you know, the water's getting run occasionally and things like that. What does the farm produce? So currently just grass hay. We have lots of fields that produce grass hay. We have a neighbor that comes out and basically just uses our property to grow it, because we don't take the time to like harvest it and sell it anymore. So they pay us to use the property and take the hay and feed it to their cows. But yeah. It used to be we did oats for a while. We did oats and hay. But beyond that, that's mostly what we produced. It was more useful when, you know, we had horses and things, but don't have any animals anymore, so. Yeah, literally you harvest it and then you leave it alone and it regrows, and you harvest it and you leave it alone and it regrows. It's basically a useful weed. Basically. I mean, a weed is just a plant that is in a spot that we've determined is the incorrect place. So. If I had the space, I would 100% have a donkey named Jeffrey. What a sentence. There is, oh my God. I need to wash off our driveway. There's a bird that just went to town just shitting all over like a specific spot of the driveway, and Clark keeps winding up over there, and I'm like, don't touch the white stuff. Don't kneel down. Don't do anything over there with the white stuff on the floor. I need to clean it really badly. It's so gross. I can't say it's chalk, then she'll want to play with it. You goofball. I always wondered about the logistics of owning two properties. It scares me to think what might happen when one is unattended. Yeah, I think typically it's either you do like short-term lets. So if you're the sort of person that's like, I have my primary house and then I have a house that's in like a more desirable area, right? Then the house that's in the more desirable area, you can potentially do short-term lets with, right? And be like, if you want to go out there when I'm not there, feel free. There are lots of companies that do that for you. But otherwise, yeah, you need like somebody who can check up on the place, basically. Sam and I, pie in the sky. We don't own a house yet, but like pie in the sky, we would love to have a house in both countries. We've talked with my parents about like having a place that we could stay on their property. You know, who knows what the future holds, but currently we don't own any property at all. One day. Could you live with your parents? No. So the reason that we've talked about this with my parents is because whenever we visit, again, with our like schedules being what they are, one of us is probably streaming late at night, and my parents don't have a big house on the farm. It's a farmhouse, right? So if you're if you're streaming somewhere, everybody can hear you. It's the same with our in-laws. Our in-laws actually have a huge house, but it's an old house and sound travels. So when we've tried streaming at their house, keep literally everybody awake. So we've been talking with my parents about having our own like space that we could stay in when we come to Oregon. Because they have honestly amazing internet. For whatever reason. So I've been like, if we could establish like a place to live and work that's just on their property, they have like 80 something acres, that would be great. And then we would have our own space and we could, you know, take longer trips and not feel as antsy about like getting back and being able to work and all of that sort of stuff. So that's one day the plan. What about an RV? An RV for us to sleep in and have somebody stream in at the same time? That's a disaster. No. We have options. We have options that we've already discussed with them, but an RV is not one of them. Yeah. A kid, Sam, me, Clark in an RV with one person streaming. It's a terrible idea. Sam also gets very claustrophobic. He's a tall, broad dude. So he can't be, I mean, he can be in an RV for a long period of time though. He is very like uncomfortable in them. So yes. Torgrick said, I remember Sam doing that RV road trip with a group and streaming was a bit rough. Yeah, Sam, that's like literally what he thinks of now when he thinks about being in an RV is when he went on that RV road trip with all those dudes. He's like, that was a nightmare. No, because it's not just like where do we work? That's not the only thing that's going on here. It's also just if we're going to say like let's go to America for, 3 weeks or something. Let's get like a really long trip in and like see everybody and blah, blah, blah. It's just as a family of 3, it's just nice. The idea, again, this is not something we can do immediately. This is just the plan for the future. It would be really nice to have space that is ours. And my parents have a lot of property. So wouldn't you spend some time in LA? Yeah, go for a couple of days to see friends. Sure. But go for 3 weeks? No. Go for long enough that we need our own house? No. Anywho, it's 3:30. So I think I hope this isn't a rude question. I'm curious, do you and Sam earn enough from streaming to be able to afford to buy a house? Yes, we're just trying to be smart about it. So we're currently saving to make sure that we can get a place that offers us, space to work and space to live, etc. But yeah, we make enough to be able to buy a house eventually. We're just making sure that we're in a good place for it, and that it's not going to be a situation where we're like, well, we'll just spend all of the money we have and hope that it just works out, where we've got money set aside that's like, this is emergency money that is not being touched by the house purchase, etc. So, yeah, it's just a down the line thing. A year or 2, maybe. We'll see. What would your dream space need? Well, honestly, just like what I said, I love gardens, so I want like space outside to have a garden, and my chickens and all that sort of stuff. But generally on the inside, it just needs, whether this is like a garage or whatever, we need to be able to like have a space that we work and then a space where we live. Currently, they are one and the same, right? Like my office is, through that wall is my kids' room. Through that wall is a bathroom, but then our bedroom, right? The main bedroom. Preferably where we work is not next to living spaces. They are easy to access, but they are not like directly intermingled with one another. To just like have those things separate. So options for that, again, are like, there are actually a lot of places out here with like tiny sort of shed houses that are outside of the normal house. That's an option. Basements aren't super common here for whatever reason, but basements are an option. Garages are an option. Like all of that sort of stuff can be converted into what we need. It's just finding that, Yeah, granny annex, exactly. Yeah. No basements because of flooding. Oh, interesting. I've never seen a house with a basement. Oh, I grew up in a house with a basement. I loved the basement. Anywho, let's see. Thank you all very much for watching today. I appreciate it. Michael L.A., thank you for the 77 months. Puff Pie for the 10s, and Christian for the 28. Marloose for the 18. Esgary, thank you again for all of the gifted subs.
Regular Clover, thank you for subscribing. Backfish for subscribing as well. Thank you very much. Welcome to the Cat Gang. Erwinga, thank you for the 9. Happy Twitch baby. Enzo Creed for the 15. Maddie for the 42. Glitch Gnome for the 37. Takami Cost for the 73. Megan Topia for the 7. Alara Tenny for the 58. Mighty Deacon, thank you for the gifted sub. Fallout Gamer for the 28. Rob Poe for the 3 years. Happy anniversary. Thank you so much for the support. Benjamin the Western for the 16. Shifty Monk for the 52. Red Orchid for the 72. Toasted Nom for the 11. Zerebus for the 3. No Frank for the 35. Sammy, thank you very much for the 2 years. Happy anniversary. I appreciate it. Cannibal Kiwi, thank you for the 5. Michelanio for the 40. Heronbug for the 15. Skitay for the 4. Stonehead for the 62. Adam for the 11. Mikai for the 54. Trueheart for the 63. Dinna for the 4 years. Happy anniversary. Empty Noise for the 44. Nab who does nothing for the 41. Seafoam Green for the 30. Paleor for the 44, Outraging Cat for the 40, Ardark for the 57, Conical Coffee for the 13, Grit Fox for the 47, and Arnar for the 64. Arnar! I hope you're doing okay. Hi, sweetheart. Hi. Did you have your little nap?
Yeah, in Daddy's bed.
In Daddy's bed.
I like to go him and like it for him.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But he didn't come back.
Oh, he didn't come back.
Yeah.
He didn't want to wake you up, I think. He saw that you fell asleep, and so he decided to let you sleep. Did you miss him?
Yeah.
Oh, I think he's just downstairs if you want to go say hi.
I think I can have some.
Welcome.
Yeah, probably. Put your bibbit in your bed, please.
Coffee drinking burrito babe.
Thank you. It's my kid. She cute. Arnar, what's up, dude? I hope you're doing good. Look at you.
My script.
Your braids? I do. I love your braids. They're so cute.
What is this?
That's called a cutting mat. So if I need to cut something, I can cut it on that mat.
Or if you need to cut some paper or something.
Exactly. If I needed to cut paper or something like that, I could do it on the cutting mat, and then I wouldn't cut through like something like this or like my table. The mat will protect it. That's cool, huh?
Our teeth are bones.
Our teeth are bones. That's true. What's this bone called?
I don't know.
Do you remember? Cranium? Cranium? Our teeth are bones.
Maybe you can cut like corridor markers or
What else?
hat.
Or cats?
Yeah.
Do you remember the sign for cats?
Yeah.
The sign?
I need to pee.
You need to pee. Okay. Okay. Let's go pee. Thank you all very much for watching. Do we have a raid? We do. 1 sec, darling.
What is this?
Okay.
Mommy, what is this?
What's what?
What is this?
It's just thread, darling. Okay, we're going to go raid Tugboat. Thank you all very much for watching.
Mommy.
Can you say bye-bye?
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Mommy.
Thanks, everyone. We'll see you for It Takes Two later tonight. Bye-bye.